Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome to part 3 of our Industrial Foregoing Mod Spotlight, where today we are going to cover items such as the ore laser, the fluid laser, and the wither milker. Yes, you heard that right, wither milker. Enchanting with Industrial Foregoing, as well as how to automate enchanting, and lastly, ore meat processing. Yes, tripling our ores using meat. It's as gross as it sounds. If you want to see how we do it, keep watching. Our first stop in part 3 is going to be the ore laser from Industrial Foregoing, of course, because that's the mod spotlight we're doing. The ore laser is a machine that generates ores from the void, essentially. It requires a couple different parts. 2 parts, essentially, is what's needed for your ore laser. You're going to need an ore laser base and at least 1 laser drill. More is recommended, but 1 is all that it needs. So what you do is you take your ore laser base, you place it down, you set your laser drills down, keeping in mind that your laser drills do have a directionality to them. This spot is where the laser is going to come out. And if you look at the ones I already have set up, there is a particle effect beaming to the ore laser base to let you know that you have set it up correctly. Each one of these does require power, and they use quite a lot of power. As it stands right now, I believe they use 1000 RF per operation. Yes, 1000 RF per operation. So it's a lot of power that each one of these can use if you set up a bunch of them. But what you want to do is set them up facing your ore laser base. The UI inside of these is simple. They do take your standard suite of upgrades, but take them, point them at your ore laser base, and let it run. And then your ore laser base will start generating items. And as you can see here, your progress will slowly fill up and it will generate your ore. The more laser drills you have pointed at it, the faster that this progress bar will go up, because each one of these is causing the progress to go up by 1. Makes sense? So every time this ticks all the way down, this is going to go up by 1. Inside of your laser drills, it does tell you where your target is located. So if you were ever, thinking it was pointing, if you had multiple of these set up, you want to make sure it's at the right target. You can make sure that it's at the right Y level. It just basically lets you know that it is pointing at a laser drill. If we set this one up over here, it's going to tell you target not found. Inside of these lasers, they do have a working area. And what this is telling you is that the laser drill the laser base can be anywhere inside of this working area. And it's actually larger than you think, which is why I raised this up one. It is a 3x3 cube. So you can have the laser drill anywhere inside of this 3x3 cube, the laser base inside of this 3x3 cube, and the drill will be able to find it and start operating, which, as you can see back here, is what I have set up. So inside of here, we have a ore laser base. And on the outside, we have a 3x3, except for this middle one, because I wanted you guys to be able to see inside of them. We have a 3x3 of laser drills, and these are non-upgraded. I did not put any upgrades inside of these, but we have 3x3, top, bottom, all sides. Each one is connected to a flux cell, which is giving them power so that they can all operate. And if we look inside of here, compare the progress of this ticking to this ticking. Significantly faster. But remember, each one of these per operation is using 1000 forge energy. A lot of power. So you want to make sure, if you want to set up something like this, something crazy, that you set it up with a lot of power. Also, keep in mind too, this is not even its ultimate form. You can actually have these go out 3 sections. So you can have it like this. And if we look inside of here, the laser base, you can have it like this. Yes. It is inside of its range. If we turn it on, it will find the laser. As you can see here, it did find it. You just have to be able to provide power to all of these, which can be a hassle with something like this. You also want to be able to make sure you can access the items inside of here to be able to pull out your items. So something like a ender chest on top of this, or if you have some way to make like a phantom face or an entangloper or a an entangloporter, entangler, whatever that mod is. That way you can access your laser base from the inside. You definitely want to be able to do that so you can, pull out your items. Now, there is also this option here for depth. And if we take a look at our ore laser base and we hit U over it, it's going to tell us, okay, laser drill or laser base. It's going to tell us we have options, okay? There are lenses that you can place inside of your ore laser, which is going to change the weight of what items you get from the laser drills. It's going to tell you your minimum Y level. For example, if we wanted to focus diamond ore, and that's basically what these lenses do, is it allows you to focus on a specific ore or item. If we wanted to focus diamond ore, we're going to need to put a light blue laser lens. And then we're going to have to set that depth inside of here to a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 16. So if you look inside of here, right now it's set to 79. So we would have to drop that down to 16, or anywhere between 5 and 16. And what that's going to do, if you meet all of those parameters, it's going to set it to a weight of 4. So you're 4 times more likely to get a diamond ore than you are to get anything else. It does not guarantee that you are going to get diamond ore, but you are 4 times more likely, or you have a weight of 4 for diamond ore. If you hover over here, it's going to tell you our whitelisted biomes are any, and our blacklisted biomes are the end, the void, small end islands. Basically, you cannot put this in the end and expect to generate diamond ore because the end doesn't have any ore really. This is your standard. If you had, Y level 0 to 255, if you had no lens in here, you're going to have a weight of 1 on your diamond ore, which everything's going to have a weight of 1, and that's going to, generate your stuff. So you can go through and look through, but there's a lot of stuff. Any ores that can be generated in this, you can focus, and you can put more than one laser in here. So you can focus, if you really wanted to focus diamond and iron, you could put both of those in there. You just got to find a happy medium with their Y levels. And that is the ore laser. So along with the ore laser, we also have a fluid laser. Before we do anything, let's go ahead and take a look in JEI at the fluid laser. And if you look at the usage of the fluid laser, in this pack, there are only 2 usages for this. Other packs may add additional because it is configurable, but as it stands right now, we only have 2 usages. First off, generating ether gas. Purple laser lens, ether gas, we will discuss this, but in order to do this, it can be on any Y level, but it has to be placed over a wither. Can be in any biome, no blacklisted. You can do this anywhere you want to. The other usage of this is in the nether. Whitelisted biomes, nether waste, basalt, warped forest, crimson forest, soul sand valley. Blacklisted biomes are none. So this means that it will only work in those whitelisted biomes. Everything else is okay. Or, well, there's nothing specifically blacklisted because the only things that are allowed are the whitelisted ones. This requires an orange laser lens, and it's going to generate lava. So if we go into this nether portal here, I do have this set up inside of here with a fluid laser base, laser drills pointing at this laser lens. It is generating lava with every operation. The depth is set as it should be because our depth is between 5 and 20, and we have it set to 15. And that is your fluid laser base for lava specifically. Now, if we pop back out here, you remember our other thing here that we can make was ether gas. Ether gas comes from milking the wither. And yes, I said milking the wither. You did not misunderstand. You did not mishear. We need to milk the wither. So how do we milk the wither? Well, we need a couple things. First off, you need your ore laser base, right? Or your fluid laser base and your drills pointing at the laser base. Standard setup here. You're going to want power to go to these guys, and you're going to want some kind of fluid cell to capture the ether gas because this is going to fill up with its 32 buckets, and then you're not going to be able to do anything with it. Then you're going to want what is known as the stasis chamber. Industrial Foregoing has this item called the stasis chamber, and all it is designed to do is freeze mobs that are above it, including the Wither. Or, well, not even above it, within its working area. It is designed for the Wither. You can use it for other mobs. So if you wanted to set it up in a standard mob factory, feel free 100%. With the Wither specifically, though, it freezes the Wither from the moment it spawns in, which means it does not allow it to do its initial explosion. No damage in your area. So what we're going to do is turn on our stasis chamber, and we'll see that it is now running. And if we get close to this, it will stop us from being able to move. It applies slowness basically repeatedly, and you have to like either turn the machine off or be able to fly to get away from it. So be careful. Don't go near the machine. Also, do not let your stasis chamber run out of power if you are going to set this up to be run all the time. Your stasis chamber runs out of power, that Wither gets free, it will destroy everything in its vicinity, because the stasis chamber just pauses the Wither's animation from exploding, or its explosion animation. It does not stop it from happening. So if it loses power, you're in for a world of hurt. So I just want to double check, make sure we do have power. We do have a flux cell down here that's pushing unlimited power into this guy. So we're good to go in that regard. So let's finish building our Wither. Bam. And you're going to see here, the Wither is done. He's not going to do anything else. And conveniently, it stops his boss bar from appearing on your screen, which is nice. So the Wither is stuck here, and we are now producing. Oh, if I put the purple laser lens, I forgot to prep that. Purple laser lens. Don't forget your laser lens. We will now produce ether gas. And then ether gas went into our fluid cell. We have 10 millibuckets. And yes, it is 10 millibuckets per operation. Granted, you don't need a ton of this. If you remember when we were doing our dissolution chamber, it was like 135 millibuckets of ether gas for the Supreme machine frame, whereas pink slime was 500 millibuckets. So you do use a lot less of this, but definitely, just let this run. Just make sure you do not run out of power in your stasis chamber, because you will be in for a bad time if you do. But that is your fluid laser base and milking the Wither. Next on our list is Industrial Foregoing's Enchanting Machines. And I have to say, these are some of my favorite machines to set up in any playthrough that I do, because it makes enchanting so easy. So let's get started. First off, let's go over all the machines. First is the Enchantment Applicator. We have the Enchantment Factory, the Enchantment Extractor, and the Enchantment Sorter. Starting out with the Enchantment Applicator, it is basically an anvil. And it uses essence, which you would be generating from your mob farms. Pipe essence into this, give it power, and it acts as an anvil. So if we take this bow and we take this book, we put our bow in here, we put the book in there, it's going to do its thing. Bam, the bow now has power 5. Super simple. It can break past Minecraft's limits if you have the ability to. Like if you have Apotheosis in here and you can, combine books to get higher tiers of enchants. By default, it has 64 millibuckets of essence, which is equal to your 30 levels, your standard 30 levels of enchanting. If you put a tank above it that you can pull from, it can go above that if needed, but you have to have the ability to within Minecraft itself, which is, from other mobs like Apotheosis and things like that. Next up is the Enchantment Factory, and the Enchantment Factory is like your enchanting table. It's your give me some random enchants kind of thing. If you have it will always be 32 millibuckets of essence, and it is going to enchant at level 30. So, for example, we just got power 5, and unfortunately, we got Curse of Vanishing. It does have the ability to give you random mobs. That's going to duplicate that one. Do I have anything? Let's get these chainmail boots, because that was an unfortunate example of how this works. But there we go. Unbreaking 3 and Mending. Random enchants, just like in enchantment. Your standard enchanting table would be super simple. Uses your essence. Next. The Enchantment Extractor does exactly what you think it would. It extracts enchants. So, for example, we have this bow here, which has power 5 and Unbreaking. Inside of here, we have a couple slots. First, we have our input of our enchanted item. We have books. We have enchantless item. And we have our enchanted book output plus essence. You do have this check mark here in which you can say enchantments from items will be transferred to books. So our enchants will go to books and we'll get our books, or enchantments can be directly turned into essence. Up to you. If you have a mob farm and you're getting a bunch of enchanted items and you want to convert them into essence, definitely recommend to do this. Most of the time when you get items from mob farms, you're getting like Unbreaking 1 and stuff like that, and it's not, super duper worth it. So extract them and get your essence from it. Well, what we do is just put this in here. It's going to operate, and it's going to do one enchant at a time. So it just pulled power 5. It pulled Unbreaking, and it threw the bow back over here, which you can then take that bow and pipe it into the enchantment factory and, automate it like we're going to do back there. Lastly, we have our enchantment sorter. Enchantment sorter does exactly what you think it would. It sorts your enchants. So inside of here, we have a couple different items. We have a chainmail helmet that's enchanted, unenchanted boots, enchanted leggings, and enchanted chest plate. We're going to input from this chest, and we're going to pull. And what it's going to do, is it enchanted? Yes, it goes down here to our enchanted item. Is it enchanted? No, it goes up here. Sorts your enchants. Super simple. Using this is best when you have a mob farm. You can pipe in those items like I was talking about earlier. If you have a mob farm and you're getting a bunch of junk enchanted items, push all the items into enchantment sorter. Have your unenchanted items, they can get trashed or they can go back into your refined storage system or your AE2 system or whatever. And then your enchanted items, have them go into an enchantment extractor, extract the enchants, get yourself some essence or books. Bam, cycle through. Yeah, now automating. Okay, automated enchanting. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take two of those machines, our enchantment factory and our enchantment extractor, and we are going to automate these two. A little bit of setup for this. What you want to do is take your enchantment factory. You have your items or input, right? And you're going to want to set this up so that it is going to pull items from the right on the input. And the output is going to push items from the right. You can disable all these other ones if you want to. Again, like I said in the previous part, I like to make sure that I can understand the flow of how my items are going. So I will disable the things that aren't needed and have it push. Even if I have pipes set up, it's not necessary. It just helps you understand flow. So we're going to have an item come in here, and it's going to push out to the output here, which is then going to push to the right, which we have an enchantment extractor set up. Our enchanted item is going to pull from the left. And again, that's just so that we visually can understand what's going on. Our books are going to be in here. You can pipe books in from refined storage or however you want to do it. Our enchantless item is going to push to the left. So this is going to be our item after the enchants are extracted. It's going to push to the left. If you remember here, we have this pulling from the right. So it's going to go back in here. So we've just now created a loop. It's going to enchant, move over to the extractor, extract its enchants, go into this slot, which is then going to push back over to the factory and loop through, with all of our books then being set to push to this chest. Demonstrate. Take our netherite sword. We're going to put it in here. This machine is fully upgraded. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what just happened. That was not supposed to happen. Let's take two. Let's get a netherite sword. Let's try that again. I don't know where that went. It should have ended up over here. I think it just went so fast that it just glitched out. So this is going to extract its enchants. It'll pop over here for a second. It's going to get pushed back over here, and it's just going to continue to loop through. Honestly, I think the processing add-on messed that up. If we put this add-on in there, is it going to work better? Yes, there we go. Yeah, I think the processing add-on is what caused that to have issues. But yeah, look at that. We're already getting all these enchants. Smite, knockback, sharpness, all kinds of crazy stuff. Mending, looting, and it's quick. When you have these upgraded, it's quick. Keep in mind, though, essence. It's burning through 32 buckets of essence every single time it runs through here. you will burn through your essence quickly. In my latest playthrough on All the Mod 6, I set up a enchant to get some pedestal speed upgrades. I let it sit for maybe 5 minutes while I was working on something else, and I burnt through, it was probably about 10 minutes to be honest, but I burnt through 2,000 buckets of essence that quick. It's fast. So just keep that in mind. You don't want this to run all the time. Run it until you get the enchants you want, and then turn it off. Hopefully you get lucky right off the bat. Otherwise, you're going to need a lot of essence for this. But that is automating enchanting with Industrial Foregoing. It's pretty awesome, pretty powerful to get yourself great enchants. Definitely, if you're playing with this, use it. Next on our stop is ore meat processing. And yes, it sounds as weird as it is. I've actually never used this in a pack before. This is the first time I've ever played with this. It's actually a pretty interesting way of tripling, quadrupling, or quintupling your ores. So what you need is liquid meat and a washing factory, okay? Pump liquid meat into a washing factory and give it some ore. And what it's going to do, it's going to take that ore, it's going to turn it into raw ore meat, okay? So raw ore meat. And each ore is going to generate 100 raw ore meat of that type of ore, which is iron ore. From there, you're going to want to pump that raw ore meat into a fermentation station. Raw ore meat pumps into a fermentation station, okay? We're going to turn this off for the moment. Couple options inside of here. You have what you want to do: seal when 1 bucket, seal when full, seal when half full. And what it means by seal is process, do your process. So we want it to process when we have 1 bucket for demonstration purposes. We have 1 bucket sitting in here. I had already pre-processed it. We can set this up to run so you can see what that looks like. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to take liquid meat. It's going to do the ore, and it's going to generate 100 millibuckets of iron ore meat. It's going to come in here, seal in 1 bucket. We also have this option here for production. So right now I have it set to 3x. So what it's going to do, it's going to take this 1,000 millibuckets of raw iron meat. It's going to turn it into 3,000 millibuckets of fermented ore meat. You can do 4x. It does require a catalyst of pink slime, so you would have to pump pink slime into here. Or you can do 5x, but it requires ether gas. Also notice the time. In order to do this, it's going to take 300 seconds. 2x is 5 seconds, 3x is 45 seconds. So if we were to run this, it would produce the next batch of fermented ore meat. So then you take that fermented ore meat and you're going to pump it into a fluid sieving machine. Inside of the fluid sieving machine, you're going to need to give sand. You're going to provide sand. We're going to take this output and we are going to push it to the right. It's going to take this, convert it over into iron dust. And for every 100 millibuckets of fermented ore meat, we are going to get 1 iron dust, along with a piece of sand. So 100 millibuckets of this, 1 piece of sand, processes into an iron dust. And yes, that is ore tripling by turning your ore into meat. Yeah. And that's that. So yeah, we got our ore laser base, we got our fluid laser base, milker, wither milker, enchanting ore meat. That's it for this episode. Part 3 is done. Part 4, we're going to get into the miscellaneous machines. And yes, the miscellaneous machines is going to require a whole part because there are a lot of them. There's even some we haven't seen yet in another area that we're going to be teleporting to at some point. So yeah, if you enjoyed the episode, you learned something new, please feel free to like the video, comment, subscribe. If you look down at the bottom, the subscribe button's red, not gray. Click on it, hit the bell, all that good stuff that all the YouTubers say, because, you know, that's how we survive. So yeah, if you like what you're watching, feel free to help out. You know, I don't mind it. I appreciate it. I really, truly do. I appreciate every single one of you who watches these, hangs out with me. It just blows my mind that y'all want to see this stuff. And I love doing it. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. And we will see you in part 4.